This idea about African Tourism Research Network, basically, as has been said already, is to fill a gap. During the COVID, I wrote something, and that attracted the British Council to call me for an interview. It was just basic data that I put out. I did a basic research, survey, not a research, and that got them interested. And that got me to think that, look, we need to have data. And then I was there when somebody called me that the IMF and the World Bank also wanted me to do a presentation on our industry. Again, I gave some data, and they wanted to learn more. And then when the government decided to go to IMF, I was also called to come to Ministry of Finance to discuss with them how tourism is going to contribute to the whole economy. And when I finished, in fact, I thought it was going to be a group of people sitting down to talk. But when I went, then they started asking me questions. So I was like, but where are the rest? So when we finished, they asked me, do I want to say something? I said, are we done? Is that all the meeting? They said, yes. We wanted to know your perspective about the economy, how the country can help itself using tourism and other things. So I made a statement, and the lady from IMF said, can you give me data? If you can give me data, I am ready to go and ask for money for your industry. So when I came back, I had a discussion with Dr. Aisen, and then I called Mr. Kwesi Agyeman, GTA CEO, and I said, Chief, this is the situation. We need to do something about data. We need to do something about the industry. Our objective is quite simple. African Tourism Board Research is a registered non-governmental organization, civil society organization, non-political, non-religious, is to promote sustainable, responsible, ethical tourism in the travel and tourism industry. And we seek to do this involving everyone. Tourism cuts across everything. So that is what we are seeking to do. What are some of the projects that we'll be looking at? We'll be looking at promotion of industry-relevant research. I have had calls to challenge academia that if you say you are doing tourism and hospitality, and of course, if we are looking at the institution that is doing tourism and hospitality, premier institution is Cape Coast. If you go to Cape Coast University now, their hospitality faculty, they are not even running hotel. How can you teach hospitality and then the institution, you don't even run a hotel? That's not possible. So we want the academia to look at research. When you are doing a research, you give students research. It must be industry-relevant research. You don't give them things to go and read and write on, and then when they finish, you pilot. If you go to any of our institutions that is doing tourism, hospitality, anything that relates to tourism and hospitality, you realize that what they are doing and what industry needs is way apart. So what we need to do is to engage them, industry, academia, government, and development partners, engage them and look at what is the industry-relevant research that we need to do. So that when you finish the research, you give it to industry to implement, make use of it so that we can employ more people. We'll also be doing promotion of innovation and digitization of the sector. Now, everything is digital. What we are hearing now is artificial intelligence. People are even scared that artificial intelligence will take our job. And we have an expert in the area of digital marketing, digital social media, digital, anything that has to do with digitization. Dr. Aisen is here, is a board member, and we'll be looking at that. How do we get the industry? If I travel to Cape Coast, I don't have to have money on me. I should be able to sit somewhere and make payment, do everything, go there. By the time I get there, everything is set up for me. And then I just relax. I don't have to be going around looking for ATM, looking for Momo, anything. That is where we are looking at. So we'll be engaging the sector in that area. And tourism investment drive activities. If you look at tourism investment in Africa, the whole of Africa, it's just under 5%. As for Ghana, don't talk about it. It's probably below 3%. How do we get investors to invest in the sector? They can only invest when there's data. You can't just tell them that invest in hotel, invest in this, and then they don't know what they are going to get at the end of the day. So there should be an avenue for them to go and look at the data, information that we have, that if you really want to invest in theme park, if you want to invest in any other thing, please, this is the region for you to go. And then we will engage the district assemblies, the chiefs. They are the custodian of our land. Sometimes getting land, especially in Accra, you buy one land like 3-4 times. And no investor wants to do that. So chiefs will be coming to you that please don't sell land to 2 people, 3 people. If you sell it to 1 person, it's enough. So we will also be looking at training and capacity building. We are developing curriculum for the lower, middle, and up to HND. We've done that. We are hoping the government will implement it. We want to train. When you go to hotel, we should have service of any hotel in anywhere. You should experience that in Ghana. So that is what we also be promoting. And then also rural tourism. Tourism has a way of impacting life right from the bottom up. So if we can focus on rural tourism, people don't need to travel to Accra. There's a statistics that a survey that has been done in 2050. About 60% of the world population will be in the urban areas. And where are we going to stay? Even now, we are struggling in Accra here. So if everybody is moving in here, so what we need to do is to create opportunities in our local areas, in our rural areas, so that people can actually get some money whilst they are in their villages and they don't need to travel to Accra or any other city. So we'll be looking at promotion of and development of rural tourism. And then we will also be doing medical tourism, which is a big market. And Ghana has not taken advantage of it. So Atrn will be doing that. Promotion of ecotourism. Again, the baby of Dr. Aisen, ecotourism. So we are serious. And then, of course, we will also be publishing current industry trends. What is happening in Kenya? What is happening in Rwanda? What is happening in Tanzania? There's so much that is going on that we sit in our small corners and we become local champions. We think we are doing so much, but when you look at what is happening outside, you realize that, look, you are not doing much. And I applaud Gideon Asare of Adanse Travel for the innovative ways that Adanse Travel is taking our industry. And we need to look at the current trends in the industry and what has to be done and the kind of training that we need so that we can do that. And then promotion of cultural tourism or educational tourism. And I'm happy to have my backbone, the traditional caterers, those in the Tema area. Yes, we all know that gradually our food is getting extinct. Our culture, our language, we all struggle when you speak at home, when you speak P at home. And it's not just you, it happens in my own home. When you speak P and your children are speaking English, and you get frustrated. When you speak Ga, they are speaking English. When you speak Ewe, they are speaking English. So gradually, if we are not careful, in the next probably 20 years, our children will not speak our language. Our children will not eat our food. Our children will not wear what we wear. Our culture will be gone if we don't do something now. Yesterday, I was listening to somebody from the Cultural Forum, and the whole of first quarter, the money that they received to do their business. Cultural Forum is supposed to teach us our culture, help us. It's 3,000 cities. 3,000 cities. The whole of the first quarter. How do they work with 3,000? So these are some of the things that ATRN will be championing. That look, government will pay particular attention to our culture, and we will drum it. We will make noise. We will ask them questions. We will ask them to account for what they are doing, and we will do that. So we will also be involving in advocacy in the travel and hospitality industry, and that advocacy wing of ATRN is called MOVE. MOVE. So when we go to the secondary schools, we will make it movement. MOVE is basically acronym for making our voices echo. MOV, making VE, making our voices echo. So we will be making our voices loud about issues. For instance, now we have this taxes that is being introduced. Who is even speaking on behalf of the industry? How do we even understand it? How is it operating? We will call the tax people to come and teach us why we should even pay that tax and what will happen if you don't pay. So these are some of the things that we'll be making noise about.